This week on Barbell Shrugged, Mike gives one piece of advice.
And we swear a lot.
We do swear a lot.
And we have
With
4
Shana.
times games athlete.
It's me.
Lana
Hey, Grace.
Alverson.
Unicorn porn.
And I curse
A lot.
and swear
And swear.
and use dirty words and profanity.
And she has a salty tongue, this one.
It was so awesome.
Edit that together and do an intro.
That intro went about as good as the episode did.
It like grew around my horn. Nobody could see it.
I had a muffin top around my horn.
Welcome to Barbell Shrugged. I'm Mike Bledsoe here with Doug Larson, Chris Moore,
We've already done
And
a
a girl
show.
who had
and
a
our
muffin
guest,
top around her horn.
Shana Alverson.
Hey.
We already did the show. While we were setting up the microphones and everything, the show was done, and you missed out on tons of great content.
We're going to try and repeat everything we said, but make it look natural.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not going to look natural.
We're like, shut up! Stop telling
no,
stories.
I didn't tell you everything. You didn't hear all of it.
So, real quick, make sure you go to barbellshrugged.com, sign up for the newsletter, put your email address in there, and we're going to send you cool updates, let you know what we're doing, where we're going to be, all that kind of stuff. Go to Facebook fan page, click the like button, go to iTunes, give us 5 stars if you like the podcast. If you don't like the podcast, get out of here.
What are you doing
And
here?
why are you listening?
Yep. And
We
So
probably
what are
do
we
have-
doing right now?
and
This windscreen makes me feel like a superhero because you can only see everybody's eyes, and so you're just.
oh yeah.
You're like a bandit.
And this podcast is brought to you by Maximum Mobility,
And
where
the
Doug
fleshlight.
Larson teaches you how to mobilize, be safe, get stronger, faster, all that.
Did you practice that in the mirror last night?
More.
That sounded like a real
More
infomercial
agile,
plug.
like a jungle
Well,
cat.
I just came off a vacation, and I'm drinking bulletproof coffee, so I'm top of my game right now.
You're sitting in a Zen pose, so this is very
Yeah,
fascinating.
you do seem very calm.
This is
all of his chakras are open right now.
You
and
look-
what's happening, and all the energy
Well, you know where
is
the
coming right out of his mouth.
you know where the chakra begins, right?
Your
the
perineal
root chakra.
gland.
Your-
I am.
the-
I'm
your-
familiar.
It begins at
in
the
your
asshole.
unicorn
Your first chakra is down at the asshole,
What
and
you
then
gonna wanna
the last
do?
one's up here.
Yeah, I read
Tighten up
that.
I
your
read it in a
anal
book.
sphincter.
Buddha quoted that, right? One must start with your asshole.
I'm pretty sure Buddha used the term anal sphincter. If we could get that.
Sanskrit
You know.
term.
The Sanskrit anal sphincter.
Good luck taking us back on track on working.
On track is
What-
boring.
what are we
Talk
talking
about?
about?
Buddha's asshole.
Hashtag.
This is going to be the fun episode.
Yeah, right. Everyone that saw the episode that she was on last time is like, yeah, this all makes sense.
We're doing this again.
That's right.
Okay, listen.
What's the common factor here? What's
For
the
our-
common factor for getting derailed?
Hashtag Buddha's asshole.
Wait, she's even more powerful at this than me.
She's way worse than you.
She's like,
You're going to have to straighten up, Chris.
I know.
You're gonna have
I've
to
got
balance us out.
What is it saying about this world and this show where I've got to be the responsible one?
I don't know.
We have flipped
That is
on our
gonna
head. And
trend
you have been
on
taking us
Twitter,
back on track a lot more
Buddha's
lately.
asshole.
So
now
we're-
we got Shane in the
I
mix.
drank
God.
some coffee.
We are going to talk about the grind of being an athlete over time.
Yeah, you will learn something here today.
Soon.
Because we've all been training for a long time and competing
Well, how many?
for a
How
long
many?
time.
You want to go around the room? Say years here. In dog years, how old are you?
Sure. In dog years, or training years, 16 years now.
Wait, is this
Yep.
just how long have you been working out, or how long have you been training to like competition?
I'd say an athlete. I
Yeah,
mean,
let's do like real training. Like, when did you start doing?
You had a purpose
like-
in mind, right?
Like some type of like legit weightlifting,
oh,
like
15.
strength training.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or,
And
yeah,
you're-
yeah, so it's been 16 years.
You're 31.
31.
I figured that out in my head.
Old.
I know.
Wow, man.
All right. I started when I was 14.
Oh, you had
I
to
know,
one
it-
up me.
But I'm only 29.
Doug
so-
has the advantage of actually having had somebody who knew what the fuck they were doing teaching him how to lift,
Right.
which is so extraordinary.
I was super lucky. Yeah, when I say I started when I was 14, that means I started doing cleans and snatches
with a good strength coach
and 20 rep squats and all that when I was 14. So I've been doing more similar to CrossFit than a lot of people want. I was very lucky to start super young.
You're
with that
rare.
stuff.
You're like a chupacabra.
See,
like a weightlifting chupacabra.
I was leg pressing. I was leg pressing in Doc Martens when I was 14.
Yeah. And then I did gymnastics before that when I was still single digits.
See, we were just talking about this.
Oh,
Me
yeah?
and Mike were like, if we have kids, we're gonna get them in gymnastics and weightlifting immediately.
Yeah.
When they're like,
Not you and I having kids.
I was
we
like,
have,
damn.
when we have kids separately with other people.
Exactly.
when
yeah.
Ashley
Wanna
has
clarify
your
that.
babies, when Ashley has your babies,
When you guys have that baby,
and
and you say
Jonathan
it's
has
Ashley.
my babies.
Gymnastics.
Ashley's so pissed watching this right now.
She'll never know.
Because CTP will edit this out like he always does.
Yeah, every time you're like, CTP will edit this out, and as soon as you say that statement, like, nothing happens.
Well,
Never happens.
No.
I'll say mine because I think we could lead into one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen, which is that picture on your phone of
Oh,
you
yeah.
before you started training.
Yeah.
But I had I guess I started when I was about. How old are you when you're like in 5th or 6th grade? What is that?
I don't know.
You're like
10 or 11.
Yeah, so I think I started like training in some way when I was like 11 or so, or 12.
Yeah.
But Lord, it was just Flex magazine stuff. I guess I didn't really start thinking about going in a direction until, maybe like 8th grade. I was like, oh, I got to get good at football, so maybe I should get stronger. See, it's been like low 20 years for me now.
Yeah.
So the
It's a lot of years
difference
lifting weights.
in all of you guys and me, and I think probably for most women, is that if you are a girl and you start working out, it's not because you're necessarily athletic, it's because you want to lose weight. Almost 100% of the time. It's going to be aesthetically motivated, at least in the beginning.
Regardless of age, like even.
Okay, so I was like 11 or 12 probably, and my parents sat me down and they were like, hey.
Hey, chubby.
They're
You
like,
got
hey,
some weight to lose.
hey, you're fat. All right.
They said you're fat?
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
yeah. And they were like,
Just like that?
we want you to lose some weight.
So my
Right,
dad
okay,
kind
They
of.
were concerned. And then they were like, what we're going to do is we're going to pay you. We want you to lose 20 pounds, and we're going to give you $10 for every pound that you lose. That's
Sounds healthy.
$200.
Incentivizing.
Yeah.
Sounds healthy as shit.
Parents,
Yeah,
do
right.
not do this to your children.
Well, by then you just start eating like paper,
They meant well. They were trying to help.
Right.
But
but it did not help.
Killing your internal motivation.
well, what it
Or
did
intrinsic
was
motivation.
send me on a lifelong search for how do I get skinnier? How
Right.
do I get thinner? How do I
Like
get...
it sabotaged the next 10 years of your life, right?
It didn't really help out my self-esteem all that much. I will say that. But I don't think I would be where I am today if I hadn't had that motivation. Like, you know.
My dad had
Looking back, as a kid, you want to be accepted. You want to make your parents proud of you. And what I heard was, I need to be a different person so that my parents will love and accept me. And so I just tried to give them what they wanted. And I did. I joined the gym
Listen.
when I was 15.
Shayna, it's not that we don't love you. It's just that if you don't get skinny, well, you'll be worth nothing in the world.
It's just we'd like you much better.
It's
if
just
you
that
were
we would
20
love you
pounds
more
lighter.
if you were attractive.
I love you, Mom, if you're listening, because she did listen to the last 2 podcasts.
No way.
Well, listen, they were doing their best. It was
Well-
like the 80s. No one understood. No one heard the word paleo before. Shayna,
now
come
I'm
on.
that old. Now it was the 80s. That's how old I am. No, it actually was the 80s. I'm just kidding.
I was fat. I was fat with you in the 80s. Okay, my dad told me I got home from school and I ate my traditional plate of saltine crackers, each with a covering of American cheese melted in a microwave. It was like a whole sleeve, a goddamn sleeve of saltine crackers with processed
That's a lot
American
of food.
cheese. For our New Zealand friends, I'm sure you have some version
healthy
of
snack.
I'm sure you have some version of fake cheese down there too. But it was just a plate of cheese and crackers. And I would eat the whole thing. But after one particular session, I said to my dad, I was like, I think this
By
is
session, do you mean
session of eating crackers. Yes, cracker session.
Just for
He
clarification.
didn't have
And
meals.
I somehow-
No, not meals, sessions.
Saltine.
I somehow communicated my displeasure with myself to my dad. Like, I don't know if I'm going in the right direction kind of vibe I was sending him. I think maybe I'm fat, which I was fat. And he told me,
Which I was.
I said, Dad, do do you think some way I communicate, hey, do you think I'm fat? And he had this long pause and said, my dad wasn't country, but it seems like country voice to me. Well, it depends. If you can take your clothes off in front of a mirror and be happy, then you're all right. And he looked at me as if, I bet you're pretty fat in front of a mirror with your clothes off. So that's how I was like, I gotcha. I think I'm fat.
Well, that was a little more subtle.
It was
maybe.
subtle. He played it cool, you know. He's like, I'm not going to call you fat. That's not good parenting necessarily.
He was
How
kind of
am
like,
I
what do
gonna
you
put
think?
this?
What do you think
about
you're
you?
fat?
That's
Kind of
right.
like,
Well, but that's
if there's a
healthier.
question, there's no question kind of thing, like a philosophical approach.
That's
to
like
it.
asking
Yeah.
someone.
That's healthier. Are you
Teaching by
happy with
question?
yourself?
The
I think
Socratic
is
method?
the better question.
There's a Socratic method of calling your son fat.
That's right. Wait, so okay, so you were a little chubby, and then you
Yeah.
went and started working out, and that was the first time that you ever had tried
Well-
working out before?
Yeah. So,
And what were you doing?
well, I joined this gym, and I didn't know what the fuck to do with the gym. So I just asked the trainer that's there, and of course he's got the Zuba pants, and you know he could
like
barely
leopard
walk.
print pants.
He could barely walk, but he's like, you should probably get on that treadmill and go for a while. And that's all I really knew what to do. And I got bored with that. So I was like, hey, how do you use those machines over there? So I was using the weight machines, even though I had no idea what I was doing. But he gave me this little card to fill out, and I had a little folder to keep it in when I went to the gym. And so I would get my mom to drive me to the gym. I was 15 and fill out my little
I've
card.
written you an
and-
advanced training program. Do machines 1 through 10, 3 sets of 15 on everything till the end of fucking
Pretty
time.
much. Pretty much.
And when you're done, walk on that treadmill till you're not fat anymore.
Pretty much. But
So-
yeah. So that started off my exercise, and then I
Did you lose any weight from that?
I did, but I don't think it was necessarily from the gym part of it. I think
No, we got to
I
communicate.
changed to what I ate. So my mom was like, "Well, you have to eat salads," and that's pretty much it. Just eat salad and to lose weight. And
Eat this leaf.
That's all you get.
What
That's
was
what I
your
did.
You're a
no,
bunny
what,
rabbit from now on.
what was your top weight, Shane? Because this picture you've got on your cell phone
yeah.
of you in your prime, if prime's the right way of saying it, what did you weigh in that picture?
Well, I was.
Is it a
I'm
peak or a
first of
valley?
all, I want to start off by saying I'm 5'3" and 3/4.
Be exact,
In that
precision
photo,
count.
I was 175-ish.
Pounds?
Yes.
That's only you were only 175 in that
Kilos.
picture.
Yeah.
Kilos.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm 5'3". I'm 5'3".
yeah. Because
And
let's say. I mean, you look great now, but in this period of time, you had like a little. I was like, you were fat,
Now
right?
I was
Is
in
it fair to
college
say?
in that photo, so that's a little bit later. But when my parents sat me down, I was 11, 12 years old probably, and I think I was 140 something pounds.
Well, that's young to be having that conversation with your kid.
Yeah.
It's prickly.
But yeah, and I mean, weight is so. When people say weight, they don't mean weight really. They mean how lean are you, and how tight are your clothes fitting. You know, what size can you get into? So weight is such a.
Well, size is a big thing with girls too, right? Just getting it doesn't matter what you weigh. If you can get into a size something, that's
Yeah.
like what
In the
size
the
0.
skinny photo, I was like a 0 or a 2.
Wait,
Yeah, I was-
just for a second, for all the people that are watching this right now, going, "Who the fuck is this girl? Like, why is she even here?"
Oh.
And they don't know who you are. Like, give us a
They
little bit about
haven't
your CrossFit
watched
background.
all the Shana Alverson Barbell Shrugged episodes already?
Seriously, or they haven't
Go
watched
back.
the games every year. Yeah. So you're a multiple times games athlete.
Yep,
Right.
I've been to the CrossFit Games 4 times. Also,
Shane is legit, bro.
CrossFit gym owner, so we're about to have our 5th anniversary. CrossFit East Decatur in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yay, 5 years.
Pretty awesome.
Happy birthday to us. And I mean,
to me, bitch.
That's right.
it is CTP's
birthday.
birthday.
It's his
Happy
birthday party here at Chris's place in a few hours.
Yeah,
We're starting the party right now. You didn't know, but
you didn't know.
you're all a part of the
I got
party.
tequila
So-
shots in the other room.
So that
So-
makes it extraordinary because you went from being, you were very large and struggling with it, and then I guess we'll tell this your transition point, but you've gotten to the point now where you're at the top of the
So-
game, so to speak.
So the point is, when my parents sat me down at that very young age, that started me on this kind of mission to figure out how do I make my body look like what I want it to look like. Because I wasn't at that time really concerned with athletic performance. And to be quite honest, when I joined the track team in high school, which I competed as a freshman, sophomore, and a junior, and I got a job when I was a senior, so I didn't really feel like doing it anymore. But I went to state track those 3 years in a row. I sprinted the 100-meter hurdles and was first in the region every year and then kind of crapped out when I got to the state level because I had no idea what I was doing. But I joined the track team because I wanted to lose weight. I thought I'll be running around a track all the time at practice and I'll have to do it and I'll lose weight.
Is that common?
Yes. It is very common in women, and I'll tell you
What else are
something
you
else.
gonna do?
They're not going to necessarily admit that to you, but
Well, of course not.
that is a huge motivation. You want to join the track team, you want to do a sport, it's because it's going to force you to be active.
I'll
and
tell you
lose
this.
weight.
I have never trained because I want to get laid. I'll tell you that.
Never.
Never. That's never been my motivation.
Wait a minute. Are you that's a joke, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll make
That
sure.
was, he was being
But no,
facetious.
That's
yes.
probably been the majority of my motivation throughout my life.
But tell you, no, I would actually commend that decision because that's really kind of a bold move to make when you're a teen. Like I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna join the fucking track team. I like that. You
That's
took
what I
the
did.
you took the unicorn by the horn.
Well, in my sport, I mean, I started showing horses when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and
Which I still don't understand what the fuck that means.
You covered their eyes, and then you put things in front
you
of
go-
them.
and you-
then you go,
See,
that's it. That's how you show
a flower
animals
pot,
things.
a car,
Yeah.
a
Right?
bale of hay. What do you think, horse?
I competed in horse shows
So what
from
would,
That's
age
you,
better.
8 through age 18.
what would you show the horses? I'm still confused.
Your wife showed shit,
Pictures-
and I still don't get it either.
Pictures of things, shapes, sometimes like a Rorschach test.
Could
What do you see, horse?
Could the horses recognize the Mona Lisa?
Do you
Or-
see a butterfly or 2 fingers?
All this horse sees is goddamn hay all the time. What's going? This horse is stupid.
Hey, and nuggets. I don't understand.
It wants to eat everything. All right.
All right, we just lost like 500 viewers in the last 5 minutes.
They'll come back.
Doug's over here. He's
I'm
like
like, oh, man,
trying really hard to not roll his eyes.
We'll put a disclaimer. There'll be a disclaimer on this episode.
There should be. Again, everyone that saw your last episode is totally not shocked right now.
You've got 2 powerful derailers in one circle.
I know.
You got
He's not the
50%
derailer
derail.
anymore. It's these guys.
Sorry.
Me?
I'm sorry.
He's been really good lately.
Yeah, I've been better, man.
I'll be good.
All right,
Kind
now
of coming
we're-
off the rails
I'll
on
be
this
good.
one.
Doug has another
All right,
question.
here,
Where are we going?
Prove me wrong. Here you go. Okay, so
Say something else about Buddha's
so
asshole.
You went from being a chubby kid, and then you eventually found CrossFit. And how did that happen?
Okay. Well, I probably should back up a little bit because I started teaching exercise when I was 19. I
Okay.
was an aerobics instructor at Gold's Gym.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you have the socks and everything? Or the knee warmer, leg warmers? Is that what they're called?
It was the 90s by this time.
She was wearing flannel, torn flannel to do her
There
exercise.
are no like leotards and the silly leg warmer socks. No.
Oh, I don't know.
It was a little-
I saw on a Google
You just
image
need me
search
to
one
paint
time.
a picture for you? Yeah, no, so I taught aerobics at Gold's Gym when I was 19. And then shortly after that, I did fluctuate in weight a lot. So my weight would go up, it would go down, it would go up, it would go down, depending on what I was doing at the time, how motivated I was, because I would try these different fitness things and get really bored with it and stop exercising. And so in my head, it was working out equals losing weight, which now I know that isn't the whole story.
Hokum.
But people would ask me questions, how did you lose the weight? How did you lose the weight? And I found myself giving advice to so many people about how did I lose weight, that it seemed natural for me to get my personal trainer certification. So I got certified to be a personal trainer somewhere around 22, 23, somewhere in there. Was playing music for a living at the time and just kind of did it on the side as a hobby. Most of the time didn't even charge any money for it. I was just still really interested in fitness and wanted to know more about it. So didn't find CrossFit until I had played music for a living for a while, got burnout, decided to shift careers. When I first got into college, I was a pre-vet major because I thought I was going to be a veterinarian. So I had vet tech experience. So I thought, well, I'm not playing music to make a living anymore. I'll go do vet tech stuff. I'll go be a vet tech. So got hired to be a
Expressing
vet tech.
dog glands for a living.
Pretty much. Expressing anal glands. Good times. Picking up dog poop. It's actually a very interesting job, and I probably would have continued to do it, but what I figured out was it was a dead-end job. I could either be head vet tech one day.
One day.
Or, I could be head vet tech. I could go back to college.
Vet techs
and-
everywhere.
One,
think
one
we're
day I'm
assholes.
going to have my
Become a-
own shit scoop.
Right. Become a veterinarian, which I just wasn't really willing to jump through the hoops of going to school because I'm That is not my personality. So I thought I should change my career. I know a lot about this exercise thing. I'm going to go down the street here and get a job as a personal trainer. And so I got hired as a personal trainer at Planet Fitness. I don't know if you all know anything about Planet Fitness.
Sure.
Is that the one that has the
It is a terrible, horrible,
the lunk
awful,
alarm?
Yes.
The lunk alarm.
They have the lunk alarm.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Explain it.
So the lunk alarm at Planet Fitness is like this big, it's like a police light mounted on the wall that when they flip a switch behind the desk, the light spins and a siren goes off. And then whoever is doing the offensive behavior in the gym.
What turns it on?
So like
A complaint scenario?
making loud noises with the weights, like clanking weights, yelling or grunting is not allowed. Having a gallon-sized water jug. Those were
I
not
agree with
allowed.
that. I agree with that.
Couldn't wear
Come on,
boots
man.
or
Buy a
jeans
fucking water bottle.
into the gym. You couldn't do anything that was like legitimate working out. You could just like walk on the treadmill quietly.
If you even have a goatee in
I
there.
remember one day.
The alarm pulled on you.
I remember one day
No
this
bald
lady,
heads.
this lady was on the treadmill. She had her earphones on and she was listening to gospel music and she was singing along to the gospel music, but nobody else could hear it. It was in her ears. And
Shut up, you lunk bitch.
And my boss went over there and yelled at her, and I was just like,
apologize.
oh god.
That was out there.
Anyway, so
I'm blaming you. I'm blaming Shana for that. She's bringing the bad Chris back out.
All I'm doing is telling the story here.
This is turning into the
So
Joe
I'm
Rogan
doing-
show all of a sudden.
They even have 45-pound plates there.
Yeah, I mean they had real
Couple.
weights. And
Are you allowed to
stuff,
use
but,
them?
Kind of.
As
Quietly.
long as you put them on the
So,
bar very,
so you
very
worked
gently.
at Planet Fitness.
I worked at Planet Fitness, and while I was there, I discovered CrossFit online. So I was trying to
While they were paying me, I was surfing the internet, searching for other things to do.
So I was trying to do CrossFit type stuff with my personal training clients, and I had to take them out back behind the building in the parking lot to do burpees, box jumps, kettle swings, stuff like that. They wouldn't let me do that inside the gym with these people. They were like, if you want to do it, you got to go out there. So no one else can
Did
see you
anybody
because we don't allow
ever
that.
make progress at anything
You're
in
not
this
allowed to
gym?
jump.
No, it's not a
No
it's
jumping.
not a gym.
Zero
Come into the
intensity.
gym and just have a seat. Just sit down.
Yeah, they shouldn't
Can't
call it a
swing
gym.
your-
It's like
On
a
this machine
place to
that
feel
costs-
good about having a gym membership.
Spa.
They're selling gym memberships. You know, it's like
Any-
hey, if you want to feel okay about being fat and tell people you're trying hard,
No.
you can tell them you're a gym member somewhere.
Having
Congratulations.
Worked there,
I wanna
having
open a
worked
Happy
there, what
Feelings
I
fitness
know
center.
is that they count on selling thousands of gym memberships that nobody is ever going to
Oh, yeah.
use, and
Oh,
no
yeah.
one will ever cancel because the cost is so low. It's $10 or $20 a month, depending on where the location is. Well,
It's a brilliant business model.
Oh, it really is because
Sure.
they know that only 3% of the population is actually motivated enough to come into the gym and use the membership, and the cost is low enough that people don't cancel. So they're
Brilliant.
just
They
raking
ride
in
that
cash. for
Isn't
nothing.
canceling a big pain in the ass too? You got to send like a certified letter to like some other person. You can't like go into the gym.
I don't
I have no
remember.
idea if that's true or not.
I
Someone
don't
told me that at one
remember.
point.
I know
That sounds even more brilliant.
There's some gyms like that. You have to like send it to billing, and then you have to send it to management as well.
Whatever.
And it's crazy.
And you're just like, I would do that, but it sounds like
What-
whatever.
and what
it's
you
$9
do
a
is
month,
you
I'll
just,
keep doing
you
it.
just disclose that in the fine print of the thing they're so excited to sign on the front side of it.
Oh,
When
yeah.
they're all excited to get in shape and be thin, they don't even pay attention to all those clauses, and you got them on the hook.
I don't remember what the cancellation process was.
'Cause you haven't canceled yet.
She's still paying for Planet Fitness training.
10 years later, $9 a month.
What a
No,
brilliant
so
business
I
model.
finally quit that job because I found a gym in Decatur that was doing CrossFit or almost CrossFit and got hired there. And while I was working there, they became a CrossFit affiliate. So shortly after I was hired there, I was fired from there because I've
Nobody likes
been
you.
fired from pretty much every job I've ever had. I did get fired from Planet Fitness, actually. I can't say that I
Impressive.
left. But just...
You're like the
your
opposite. Of,
superiors-
other people are like, I'm so proud I've never been fired.
No,
and you're
no,
like,
no, no.
I have been fired from every job.
Well, see what had happened was
See, what happened
Apparently-
was, that's how lies start.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for no job.
Well, apparently your superiors don't take too kindly to you telling them to fuck off.
Hey, listen,
So-
boss, I got something to say.
And
Fuck
you told every superior from every job you ever had.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, it happened a lot. Because here's the problem.
Some
I
would
don't
call-
like,
some
It was
people
probably
call-
them. It wasn't you.
it definitely was them.
It was definitely
no.
them.
I admit I don't make a good employee because I know I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being micromanaged.
You sound familiar to me.
Well-
Some people would call you two jerks or assholes. I'd say
We
you're
are very
entrepreneurs.
Similar. We're very similar. But it makes me a good coach because I like to be the bossy pants that tells you what to do. So I'm a good coach and decent manager of coaches.
Wrap yourself in an American flag and soar off like an eagle. You're the prototypical capitalist American.
Yeah, so I make no apologies for the fact that I don't make a good employee. I'm just not, and now I know that about myself, so I'm not trying to get hired as an employee anywhere. But, so that's how I found CrossFit. When I got fired from my CrossFit job, I already had started the process of opening my own affiliate. That was in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
We opened in June of 2008, so I've owned a CrossFit gym ever since. So, and that brings
Took
us
us 30
to
minutes,
today.
But we did it.
We closed that loop.
sorry.
The longest
Doug.
intro ever.
We told you we'd tell you about Shana, and we told you about Shana.
I do want to cover one thing that we didn't cover, and maybe I'm cutting you off too early.
One thing we didn't cover. We covered anything yet?
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Nothing. I was waiing for you to.
Oh,
Tell us the
so
thing that
so
we
you
didn't
were
cover.
vegetarian at one point.
Yes, I was.
Okay, I want to cover that real quick.
So, well, I was always reading books and trying to educate myself on how. I was never really happy with how I looked, so I was always trying to find a better way to lose weight, because I always wanted to be skinny. Well, so I read this one book that talked about how much there are hormones in the meat that you eat. And I also, pre-veterinary medicine is what I started out in college. I wanted to be a vet. I love animals.
Yeah.
So it seemed natural, stop eating animals. So I was a vegetarian for 7 years, thinking that that would make me skinny. And it wasn't the vegetarianism so much that made me skinny, but the fact that I went through a period of time where I severely restricted the calories that I ate. So it was like 1,200 calories a day, counted everything I ate, wrote it down, measured it to like within an ounce.
Mm-hmm. But But we were looking at a picture earlier, and you said I was a vegetarian then,
Mm-hmm.
and
You're
just your
very thin.
physique was just
I was skinny fat.
not great. You were skinny fat.
I was
You had a
skinny
little
fat.
skinny arms and bottom.
But so
Skinny
let's say
arms, no ass.
so you did the
Right.
vegetarian switch, and you got to this point that was a lot thinner. Did you feel better?
No, I felt like shit.
Yeah,
At
so
the time I was training
I've
martial
heard people
arts.
explain why vegetarianism sort of gets you a little bit, because you go from eating like cheeseburgers and milkshakes 3 times a day to being a vegan, and you do feel better because you're just poisoning
Yeah,
yourself. before.
nobody goes from paleo to vegan and goes, I
Yeah.
feel amazing. They
Right,
always
fine.
go from McDonald's to vegan and
Yeah.
feel great,
I was totally trying to be healthier. I was trying to do the right thing. And before I became a vegetarian, I was always doing the low-fat diet because that was the trend at the time. It was kind of like
Still is really.
the last low-carb trend had gone down and the low-fat trend was going up, and everything was low-fat, but it was all horrible sugar. And when you first shift over from eating whatever the fuck you want to now I'm eating low-fat, you will lose a little bit of weight because most of the time your calories go down, but it ultimately is going to end up doing some type of metabolic damage to your.
So you're not really training, and your carbs are a little high, and your protein and fat's non-existent. So you're hormonally, you're not really doing anything favorable.
I had some conversations with some friends this past weekend, and they were kind of surprised when
When you were at Coachella?
Yes. don't tell people I was there.
Oh God. You were there doing bad things.
I was having a good time.
Yeah.
So they were really surprised when they were asking like how, me and a couple other guys were into fitness, but we're into training, and they were asking like, what should I eat? Is this good? Is this bad? And this guy is sedentary, and he's asking, hey, should I eat less meat because I'm sedentary? I need less protein. And I was kind of like, well, it's actually the opposite. You probably need to eat a higher amount of protein and fat, because if you're not training, the carbohydrates are just going to cause you to put on fat mass. And so normally, like the higher your training volume is going, the more carbs you need to throw into your diet. And if you're being sedentary, you really don't need very many carbs at all. And so a lot of people are really surprised to hear that, because they associate like meat with putting on weight.
That's a
almost
conventional
sound like real advice.
misconception.
Good job.
It was worth it to watch this show.
Yeah, no, well, that's the
I had to sneak it in, but
That's a conventional misconception, though, and that's what I didn't know at the time. I didn't know that because I was a vegetarian and getting low-quality protein and most of the time too many carbs and not enough fat, I didn't know that was going to mess me up. And so at the time I was taking martial arts, I had no energy and was like, I would spar for 30 seconds and then just about pass out because I had...
You've been to the CrossFit Games 4 times.
Yeah.
But back in the day when you were eating vegetarian, you could barely spar for 30 seconds.
Felt like doo-doo.
Huffing and puffing doing kata.
Yeah, well... Huffing and puffing what?
Doing
Huffing and
kata.
puffing doing kata. You know, all this
the little
shit.
forms that martial
All
artists
this
do.
shit they do. What do they do, Doug? You had to do kata, didn't you?
Oh, yeah,
I did
like,
kata.
"Wah!" Yeah. And they turn and like go like this.
Killing machines.
I believe in
I'm
Korea
going to
it's
block your
called
punch
pooms.
with my fist back here.
I believe in...
I was taught to block kicks like that.
In Korean, it's called pooms.
Pooms.
Yeah.
Pooms.
Pooms.
Poems.
like-
Poems.
Pooms.
We are doing poems.
Poetry, that's what this is. Really.
This is not poetry.
Well, so when I started CrossFit, I was still a vegetarian.
Oh.
And I started eating the paleo diet when I made the decision to train for the 2009 CrossFit Games. So before, like in the fall of 2008, I started eating paleo. I would only eat certain types of meat because I still couldn't.
That's early on in the fad.
I couldn't quite bring myself to eat cows and chickens and pigs because they were still
God,
too
you're missing all
like.
the best things.
Those
in
are
life.
the best ones.
Well,
I ate
screw the
all-
chickens, cows, and pigs.
No, yeah, screw chickens.
I would
I
eat
won't
fish. I ate buffalo. I ate ostrich. I would eat all very.
eat it. You're a weirdo.
Yeah, well, because I thought my idea at the time was that those animals have had at least a little bit of a chance to live somewhat of a normal life before they're killed for. I'm telling you,
How'd you
listen,
determine that?
that was my idea at the time. This was years ago.
No one
So-
tortures chickens.
I didn't eat chickens then. I
Oh,
ate
I thought you
ostriches.
said chicken. Oh, ostriches. Okay.
Ostriches.
You said chicken, didn't you?
I said I didn't eat
Oh,
beef.
you didn't. Okay, didn't.
I
say
wouldn't
that.
eat beef, chicken, or pigs because it was too conventional.
Too readily available.
Too
Yeah.
conventional, yeah. Well, so when I started eating the paleo diet, I started putting on muscle, started performing better in the gym.
And when you put on muscle, you look better, right?
I think I look better.
Oh, good.
There might be people out there who think I looked better in size 0 with the skinny fat arms, but I don't really give a fuck. If
Thank
they
you
don't like
kindly.
it, they don't have to follow me on Twitter
Yeah.
at Shana Alverson.
Follow at Shana Alverson.
I like it.
Let's take a break.
Dude, we wore Doug out already.
Yeah, Doug is stressed out right now.
When we come back,
When we come back, we'll talk about something.
All right, welcome back to Technique WOD. I'm Doug Larson. This is Mike Bledsoe. You can find us at barbellshrugged.com. Today we're going to talk about knees to elbows and toes to bar. So a quick demo of each one. Mike's going to do knees to elbows first. There you go. All the way to the elbows. There you go. And then all the way toes to bar as well. There you go. Beautiful. All right, so those are 2 super common CrossFit movements. We're going to start with kind of a level 1 progression, and then we're going to work our way up to those variations and then onto some harder ones as well. So first thing that we usually do with brand new people, if they are having trouble with knees to elbows or toes to bars, we have them do what's called a reverse crunch. The part where the elbow, or the knee rather, gets above the hip and goes up towards the chest or all the way up to the knees is the hardest part of the movement. So we train that hard part of the movement first. So usually we have people lay on their back, they reach overhead and they grab usually one of these uprights. They put their knees together, they bend their knees all the way down, and then they bring their knees right in front of their face without straightening their knees at all. So they're just training the top part of that movement, low back to the ground, and then all the way back up. So what they're not doing is they're not kicking with straight legs like that. There you go. They're also not reaching out with their legs. They're not reaching way down here to get a bunch of momentum. So go get a bunch of momentum. There you go. All right, so what they are doing again is knees together, knees all the way bent, controlled on the way up and then controlled on the way down. Just training the top part of that motion. All right, beautiful. So that's kind of your level 1 scale, the easiest variation. Level 2 is we have them hang on a bar and they just do a hanging knee raise, no kip. They're just picking their knees up as far as they can. There you go, just like that. If they can't get their knee above right around 90 degrees without, and they're hyperextending their back when they do it, if they bring their knee up and they go like this, then we put them back on the reverse crunch. If they get their knee above 90 degrees and they're getting a little bit of flexion because their abs are strong to rotate their pelvis backwards, then they can stay on that variation until they move on to the next variation, which is a true toes to bar, which again, if Mike does a true toes to bar,
Knees to elbows, toes to bar.
or sorry, excuse me, yeah, knees to elbows, said that wrong. Knees to elbows first. So they can get all the way up to a true knees to elbows. If they can do that, then we'll put them all the way onto a true toes to bar. There you go, beautiful. So when they're first starting off on toes to bar, usually they'll have to do kind of a double swing, which is what Mike was just demoing. So if you show that double swing one more time, where they'll touch, then they'll kind of get organized again, and then they'll go again. So there's not really a rhythm where they're hitting that kipping motion and they're touching the bar without getting a little bit of a kind of a double bounce, I guess you could call it, in between each repetition. So once they get used to the movement and they're able to move on to a kip, then they're going to start stringing them together. So go ahead and go on to the kip. There you go. All right, so on the kip for the toes to bar, you can see once Mike got a rhythm going, he wasn't just hanging under the bar. He wasn't just hanging under the bar and reaching up with his feet. Each time he was kind of coming back to here and then coming up and kicking the bar, okay? Which I'm not going to hang on the bar because that's not good on my shoulder. So I'm going to have Mike demo on the bar. From the side, you can see that his shoulders come way behind the bar. He pulls the bar down to his feet almost. There you go. So you can see his head is way behind the bar and the bar's out in front of him a little bit, and that makes the bar much easier to get to when you're trying to kick it rather than kicking something that's all the way 100% overhead. Okay. Beyond that, we usually do toes to bar in Metcons with that style, but you also can do toes to bar as a strength move. So there's 2 variations we're going to go over, maybe more, that we're going to go over here in a second. We'll see what Mike's up to, or up for rather. Regular toes to bar, a strict toes to bar looks like this. He's going to come up and touch, and then he's going to lower down under control, and then once his feet are about right underneath him, he's going to go back up again under control. So that's a toes to bar without a kip. Another variation is to do a toes to bar where instead of bringing your feet all the way down to the ground, he touches, comes down right in front of him, and then his feet go back up and touch again, which is much, much harder. He's like, I don't know if I want to do this on camera. Touch, down in front, and oh, you just did
Swing, 2-way swing.
He just did 3 in a row. So no swing. There you go. All right.
I'll show one more.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put CTP out there to show Mike up. There you go. Down and back up. Hey!
There you go. Should I keep going?
I'm not even tired.
Let's do one more.
Oh, now Mike wants to do it again.
No, one more over here.
Oh, okay, here you
What
go.
am I doing?
No, you grab the camera. So I forget what they're called. Oh, they have them like gyms. Well, one thing you do is you can go strict here. Get more of a strict one like that.
Yeah, if you have plenty of shoulder flexion, then you can brace your back on the upright like Mike was just doing, and that's a great way to do strict toes to bar. You can also do a strict hanging knee raise like that, very similar to what Mike just did. Go and do it, but don't do straight legs, do bent legs. So this is a great way to do a strict hanging knee raise, bringing your knees up as high as you possibly can. This is probably where most people are going to have to start. If you can't get your knees all the way in front of your face, then you probably then you probably don't need to progress onto the straight leg variation. There you go, beautiful. All right, you up for some windshield wipers?
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
All right, last variation we're going to show right now is a strict windshield wiper. He's going to do a toes to bar, and then he's going to go back and forth with his legs side to side. There you go. And so obviously with that, the larger the range of motion, the more difficult it's going to be, and the slower you go, the more difficult it's going to be. So those are a couple of good strength variations of toes to bar, along with kind of the more normal kipping variations that you find at most CrossFit gyms. If you have any questions about that, you can tweet us at Barbell Shrugged on Twitter. You can ask us questions on our Facebook page, or you can go to barbellshrugged.com, click the Ask a Question tab, and ask us a question by filling out that short survey.
And we're back.
Shana's now hosting the show. What are we going to talk about, Shana?
We're talking about CrossFit.
Always.
And yeah, so we're talking about the grind of training.
No, we weren't.
Right?
She was doing so good.
No, we weren't. I mean, people are going to be like, you guys weren't fucking talking about that.
You mean we're going to talk
We're
about
going to talk about
You
gonna
can't
talk
fool
about
the
how.
people. You
So
can't fool
look,
the
okay.
people.
Let Chris draw this thing into focus.
Yeah, oh, that's a great idea.
the savior.
So,
Bring us back home,
not
brother.
the first time I've been called that.
We're not talking about.
Do
never
tell.
mind.
So,
This should be good.
When someone says "Oh God" in the bedroom, they're not necessarily.
yeah. So,
Sorry,
you
that
were
was-
fat, and you got unfat, but you're a vegetarian weirdo. Then it came back around the paleo,
was
and
a
your
dirty,
ascension, and your
smelly
ascension to
hippie.
the yeah,
Weirdo.
and your
Who's
ascension to the pinnacle of CrossFit for a long stretch now. You've been at the top of your game for some time. You're very fit. You're muscular, and your unicorn is proud and erect.
I'm muscular.
And yet, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. our producer is not really
We'll
doing
let
a
him
great
off the hook because it's his birthday.
CTP is
Oh,
bored.
keep your conversation
He's
down.
taking phone calls during the show.
So yeah, but you've been for like 5 years now. You've been hustling really hard to stay at the top. So
Yeah.
the one thing that interests me is a lot is that people expect that you just take this upward trajectory and you just fucking keep it until you die. Basically, that I will always love this. I will always push 100%. I will always make progress on all these stupid WODs, and my life is gonna be perfect from now into the end until it's not anymore.
Yeah. Well,
Right? You start getting kind of. I mean, you can't last forever at grinding all the time.
right. Well, I've told a few people I did qualify for regionals this year, but I actually thought maybe I won't compete. And they're like, "What? Oh my God! What do you mean? You have to go!"
Unicorn Nation got so bummed.
They did. I know. They really did.
No,
That's a lot of
telling
pressure.
me. You were telling me the other day, like it kind of like looks glamorous to be a
It
CrossFit
really does.
athlete
So I
competing
think,
at the games, and go tell that story.
yeah. So I think people on the outside watching the CrossFit Games, they look at it and they're like, "Oh, these people,
They wanna
you know,
be
these
there."
people, they look good. They're doing CrossFit all day long. They're getting free stuff from Reebok, and it looks glamorous. They probably are thinking, what a great life you have that you get to do CrossFit all the time. When in reality, it's fucking hard. It's not always fun. A lot of times, you know, on a daily basis in the gym, I'm working out alone or with a single training partner because he's the only one willing to day after day meet me and do all the shit that I'm doing.
And never for pleasure.
It's, you know, it's not the same CrossFit that it was 4 years ago for sure. When, you know, in 2009 training, it was like I was just doing the classes like everyone else with a little extra work here and there, and that was pretty fun. But
Well, part of that, too, is the
no-
competition's gotten more competitive, so you have
Yeah.
to train harder, and the volume of the games has gone way up.
Yeah.
So now you have to train with more volume.
Yeah, and
And you got to sleep more, and you
you're
got to eat
training
more.
like classic sports training looks, which is more like classic periodization instead of like what people who are CrossFitting recreationally or for health and fitness, it doesn't look like what they're doing. They're coming in doing a WOD a day, and they're like, yeah, I just crushed everybody on the whiteboard.
There's a difference between
It's not
exercise
that
and
anymore.
training.
Yeah, it's hard, and it wears you down, and mentally it's hard, physically it's hard. You know,
Well,
your body's tired and sore. You got to go in the gym, work out by yourself again. You're like,
McGoldrick
Yeah,
has
and
said
you
that.
do it year round for 4 years in a row.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and it's not glamorous.
Was it McGoldrick was sitting there holding his bloody shin a few years ago saying, this shit's so stupid. If you want to be healthy, don't do this. He was like in a very dark moment in the regionals.
That's like what
That's
Lauren
true.
used to say about weightlifting. It was like,
Exactly.
weightlifting is healthy unless you compete in it.
Yeah, that's
People
true.
don't understand that. I talk about this in the book.
In your new book that's coming out soon.
Yeah.
I saw the
So-
manuscript today.
Yeah, it exists. But yeah, people
Ooh, you have a manuscript.
Yeah.
at some point,
How
if
exciting.
you start,
Printed.
Oh, it
manuscript
sounds very-
on real paper.
I'm gonna
Ooh.
proofread it tonight with a
Not
glass
electronic
tequila
paper.
and a British accent. I'm gonna mix it up.
You're gonna do a reading.
I'm gonna
a
read
public reading.
I'm gonna read it to myself in my head as if it was a British guy. But here's the thing: like you start on this chasing after this competition thing, hungrily going after it to be the best you can be, and then once you get hungrily, once you get this is not a Snickers
adverb.
commercial. Once you get halfway into the journey, where it's too far to go back, then you start realizing that you're in it and you got to keep it up, and the momentum sort of starts carrying you along, and then before you know it, you wake up and you realize that this thing you're after takes a whole lot more from you than it gives to you. And that's when you got to start thinking about what you're doing, and
Totally.
whether your position now is better. If you start helping other people, maybe took some focus off yourself. That's a natural cycle of things. Once you start feeling that, it's nothing bad. It's just the natural flow of things. Not everybody can stay. Like even Rich will not be able to keep this
there has to be that
up.
day where you're like, I'm not going to do this anymore. And no matter when that moment comes, it's going to be a hard decision to make. But while you're still in it, if you make the decision to stay in it, you have to understand it is your entire life.
Yeah.
If you really want to be competitive, you don't get to go out drinking with your friends on the weekends. You know, you don't get to eat a bunch of crappy food. And when you go on vacation, you have to make sure you bring your lifting shoes and that there's a gym nearby. And when you get sick and take a couple of weeks off, you have to understand you're not going to be able to just be sick and relax. You're going to be stressed out that you're not in the gym training. And sometimes you get sick in the middle of the open and you place really badly, and that's not very motivating. But it does.
Sends her coach text messages.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Well, it's life
I'm not gonna compete
consuming, and
ever again. Yes, you are.
and the significant other in your life, you know, has to take up the slack where you don't have the energy to do the laundry or do the dishes, and they do them for you because you're so exhausted you can barely hold up a little scrubby thing in the kitchen.
I want these excuses.
My girlfriend, fucking CrossFit Games competitor, doesn't have the energy to do the dishes. How convenient for her.
She thinks she's in shape.
Yeah. 6-pack my ass.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing you said earlier about it's not if you're training to go to the CrossFit Games, you're not training for health anymore. You're going past the point of health into the extreme of like, what can you put your body through that it's going to tolerate before it breaks down or rebels in some sort of way, or you get
healthy
injured
recreational things are sustainable, and doing 2.5 WODs a day and trying to sleep 10 hours to recover from the massive damage and having everything on your life put on hold for the sake of being able to keep that up for a little while is not what makes a balanced human being.
So what are some things that your training volume's gone up over the last 4 years? What are some things that you've had to implement that allow you to recover and do more volume and stuff like that?
Well, in the past, I was doing a fuck shit ton of mobility, like insane amounts of mobility, and like
Never heard it described like that.
Can we buy that URL somehow?
fuck shit ton.
Fuckshitton.com.
I bet it's available.
I
Shana
got
Alverson's
that.
tips for recovery.
I got that from Diamond Dave's.
The
Judy Chompin' Dojo. The snatch video.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I love it.
Yes, you do. You've
that's
seen
funny.
it. Mike's seen
Yeah.
it. It's awesome.
Diamond David Lee Roth?
No, Diamond Dave's Judy Chompin' Dojo.
What is that?
Today we have
It's
snatches.
It's a YouTube video of
we have
was
to
it
show it to him.
12 point
It was last year.
last year's snatch.
The snatch
workout.
ladder
Is
video.
it a spoof?
Yeah, no, it was just a guy making.
It's a video,
It's a video
of
of-
someone doing the
It's a video of the
workout.
WOD. It's a
With
video of the
commentary.
WOD doing like terrible snatches, just like.
But
like
the
building up,
commentary
and
is
the
what's so
commentary in the
awesome.
background is hilarious.
The kind of
Hysterical.
video where people that don't do CrossFit judge all CrossFitters on.
Exactly.
Gives everyone a bad name.
Even if you even if you do CrossFit, you're gonna be judging these people.
Okay.
Like, the one guy
It's a
has
bad
like paper
scene.
towels wrapped around the bar. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"What you're gonna want to do is get you some paper towels."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Are you snatching
Awesome.
Yeah.
I
Was
gotta
this
see it.
intentional? Did some
I
guy?
think they ran out of chalk, so they needed paper towels.
Oh, sweet lord!
Yeah. Because what you want to do when you don't have chalk is use paper towels. To snatch.
Yes,
Get yourself your cooking gloves out of the kitchen. Wear
That was-
those.
so you did a
Sarcasm.
bunch of mobility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck shit ton of mobility. That takes a lot of time.
well, as all fuck shit
Massages,
tons
I
do.
have a massage guy that I've been working with for a very long time. Take fish oil, eat healthy.
What's
Don't
the
drink.
healthy is paleo for you? What
Yeah, paleo.
What about sleep? Have you had to like get more rest or anything like that?
Yeah, I try to get at least 8 hours a night. If I can get more than that, it's good. But a lot of times when the sun comes up, I wake up and I can't
Curse.
stay asleep. So, but I probably stay up too late doing work on the computer. So
You black out your curtains or wear an eye mask or anything?
I should, but no, I don't.
You don't do that?
No,
Gotta do that.
I know.
That's Doug's thing. That's his MO.
I wear the eye mask. It's great. You black out your curtains.
I black out my curtains because I tried the eye mask, but it always ends up somewhere else in the bedroom. I swear in the middle of the night, I'm like, nah. I just throw it across the room.
Your body rejects it. Stupid shit. Get this off
It's
me.
true. I've also been known to wake up with my head
he
at the
hulks
foot
out
of the
of
bed.
this eye mask in the middle of the night.
You're a wallower.
Yeah, I'll wake up with my. I've woken up and have.
Like upside down?
Yeah, I've woken up with my head at the foot of the bed.
I've never done
The
that.
last.
I used to do that. I don't do it no more. My son is like the way. I'll wake up and he has crawled and is now sleeping like on top of my face. He's a wallower for sure.
What is it? Oh, it's my kid.
Is this my French eye mask or my 18-month-old?
I don't remember it being this heavy when I put it on last
Yeah,
night.
I would say I have a problem with the sunlight thing, but 5 o'clock in the morning he's screaming, so that's not even a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
What-
so sleep, lots of sleep.
You
Fish
take anything
oil.
else, like ZMA or any magnesium or anything
That
before you
I
go to bed?
do. I've religiously taken Natural Calm for the last couple of years, and then when I started working with Mike back in
That's mostly
December,
magnesium? Magnesium citrate?
Yeah, it's just magnesium citrate.
it
Yep.
is It's like, well, I took they
Unless
have-
you get the flavored stuff, then it's got something else.
no,
in
I
it, right?
had the natural stuff, but I took the plain version has magnesium and like vitamin C. But there's a version with calcium for athletes. So it has magnesium, calcium, it has boron, vitamin D.
Boron.
Yeah.
What
it has
in the
those
hell?
Sounds
some
like getting
mineral.
superpowers.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Kind of waller in that, get some mutations, favorable mutations.
It's possible.
I hate all this.
Favorable
I hate all the ZMA and all that stupid shit. I think
I
if a
started
man
taking
needs to
ZMA.
sleep, he consumes some real drugs.
But ZMA.
get yourself a tall
Real
glass of
drugs.
scotch or a half bottle of wine. You're
But
gonna fucking
ZMA
sleep like a baby.
I mean, ZMA, the sleep is like a side effect. People need to take ZMA because they're deficient in zinc and magnesium.
Well, I don't.
That's
think
the whole
Well,
point.
the magnesium helps you relax.
The magnesium helps you
your
relax and
muscles
sleep better. But I'm not telling people to take ZMA because they have a hard time sleeping.
No.
I'm telling them to take ZMA.
You need it so your
Because
muscles
they
can
need-
relax it.
Yeah,
at night.
the magnesium helps your muscles relax so you can recover. But usually people are deficient in both of those minerals, so they need to be taking it. And the best time to take it just happens to be before
At
bed.
night.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because
I like
it's
to
also
take
going to help
most
you
of
sleep.
my supplements at night because you don't always know what they're going to do to your stomach. Sometimes you'll take a multi and then you work out and then it's like you.
I've made the
taste
mistake of overdosing on magnesium before.
Oh yeah, well.
That
you know.
was-
What's that feel?
I was like,
If you're
I was like,
ever constipated,
I'm
just take a bunch of
Yeah.
magnesium. And
oh,
I was like,
That
I'm so
happens.
tired, so I took some magnesium. I was like, I'm still tired, so I went and took some more magnesium. So I was
you had-
up for the rest of the night.
you had a dream you were swimming
In
in,
the
a bathtub
bathroom.
of chocolate pudding.
he had the mud butt.
I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. Problem solved. Yeah, so then I made the wise decision and bought a bottle of melatonin for those nights when I can't sleep. So,
I've got some of that, but I haven't really tried them. I'm afraid of being groggy.
you know what? Actually, if I take melatonin, I usually get
Yeah, I don't
really
really find
high
this.
quality sleep, and I wake up feeling great. But I have heard other people report feeling groggy having taken it. Yeah, so I guess
That
it
makes
just
me
depends
feel
on the
bad at all.
person.
How much you take, Doug?
Melatonin?
I've got bottles at home that are like 1 gram and 3 gram increments, and I was told you kind of dial it in to see how much you actually need.
I haven't read much on melatonin. The only thing that I can remember reading on melatonin was they were comparing the 5 gram and the 3 gram one, and the people that were taking 3 gram were seeing better effects. I don't even know how they're measuring the effect, but
Yeah.
they were saying more isn't necessarily better. 3 grams is pretty much all you need. And I think they sell most of them in 3 milligram and 5 milligram pills.
And that's if you can't sleep, you take that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps
Yeah.
you-
So if I
helps
get
you
in
go
bed
to-
and if
helps you
I'm
fall asleep.
10 minutes, if I'm laying there and 10 minutes later I'm still like, you know, I don't expect to fall asleep, but if I'm like nowhere near falling asleep,
Yeah.
then I use a Now brand, and they're just little melatonin lozenges, so
the
I don't
best-
need water to swallow them. I just stick it in my mouth and let it go from there. Because I used
cool.
to have some I'd have to swallow, then I'd like get up some water and.
I
find the
usually don't
pills.
have trouble sleeping, but occasionally if like sometimes you lay down, your brain is going like a million miles a minute. I'll just read. I'll just get my iPad and read an iBook.
Well, that or you go in the bathroom and jerk
Yeah.
Fall
jerk
right
off real
asleep.
quick and you go to bed like a baby.
or that,
just
or
stay in
that. Sometimes,
Why would you get up for that?
Yeah, when you go in the bathroom.
Yeah, just lean over the side. And
sometimes you need to masturbate so you can
Just lean
sleep.
over
It's
the
just
side.
it's true. If you can't settle your brain
I just
to
want
get your mind off of work or what's going on in the gym or your shitty training session, what is the one thing that will certainly distract you long enough to where you forget about all that shit?
on this
Nobody
episode of
disagrees
Barbell
that you can't
Shrugged.
just go
Nudity and porno-
masturbate and fall asleep, but we're just
How
wondering
does
why you're
Chris
hiding
Moore
in the
get to
bathroom.
sleep at night?
well, no, I mean it's just more convenient to do it in a bathroom where you can easily dispose of whatever products come out of the process.
He's
You
glad
have a-
we're
you have
talking
a
about
wife. You
sleep
just
right
wake her
now
up.
because he needed a way to bring up
assuming
masturbation.
assuming
It just
your
happen.
significant other's not really in the mood to sort of facilitate your issues,
All right, here's my question.
then an
So,
entrepreneur takes this shit in his own hands.
so your wife,
Literally.
your
Yeah.
wife rolls over and goes to sleep. Do you just masturbate in the bed right
no,
next to her?
that's disrespectful.
Oh, okay.
You've done it.
Is it really?
She has.
We're like, what? No.
She's like,
So
weird.
now I don't need
She
to
goes,
ask
"Chris-
Mike the same
I've
question.
been messing up.
the next morning, she's like, Chris, I had
You've
this
been
weird dream that I was
disrespecting her
working
all
in a
this time?
taffy factory. I heard this slapping noise. I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. I just kept slapping the taffy. Do you know anything? Did you have a similar dream? No, I didn't. No.
Speaking of plugging your wife, y'all got any plugs?
Oh
Boo.
my god.
Somehow slipped the word masturbation into
This
the
episode of
Title of
Barbell
this
Shrugged brought to you
episode.
by something. I don't know.
This shouldn't even have an episode number. This should
No.
just be like a special edition.
Episode
It
X.
is special edition.
Is all it is.
That's right.
Call it episode
This will be
X.
the longest CTP cam ever. All right, Doug.
I
I'll let
Recovery,
you start.
it's a recovery.
I'll let you start, Doug.
Or I guess we're finishing up. I don't know what to plug that's relevant to the episode.
Just plug something.
Nothing is relevant to this
Nothing's relevant.
episode.
People who are still listening.
Doug, you got to be like water. You got to fill
Hey
the shape
man,
of the
what
container
are
you
you gonna
find
do
yourself
later
in.
tonight?
Here, okay. I'm gonna plug a product. I'm gonna talk about the 6-month muscle gain program that we have going on right now, which is going fantastic, by the way. I've just made them a brand new video on exactly what to put in your workout drinks and kind of why having a workout drink is super beneficial for specifically for them for putting on muscle
Powerful.
mass. So that's actually going to come out for those guys here in a couple days. They don't have it yet, but I'm super pumped to give that to those guys. If you're interested in trying out the 6-month muscle gain program, we'll probably launch a new one here in the next 2 or 3 months. So go to the shop, click on the online coaching, and click on the 6-month muscle gain challenge, and then it's sold out, but you can put your name and email in the box there, and you'll get a free video, actually very similar to the video that I just made. That one that you'll get for free when you sign up for that list to get notified when the next session will start. That video is about how to structure your meals if you specifically want to eat mostly paleo and put on muscle. Mostly when you're talking about paleo, they're usually referring to general health and how to lose weight and be lean and just kind of be healthy. But if you want to put on muscle mass, then you got to make some very specific adjustments to the paleo diet, and you'll get a free video of me explaining exactly how to do that to put on muscle mass and how to structure your meals.
Awesome.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
gonna launch it again in 6 months, but we had so many people going there and dropping their email in there that it looks like there's enough interest. If we wait that long, we'll have too many people. So we're gonna have to do it sooner, just so we can accommodate everybody.
I get an email like every day.
How long-
Someone saying I
how
want
long
to
is
be in
it?
the program. What do I need
It's a
to do?
6-month program,
6 months.
26 pounds in 26 days.
26.
26 weeks.
26 pounds in 26 days.
You got-
26 pounds in
Sweet.
26 weeks.
You got
Sorry.
You so screwed that up, dummy.
Like supersize me.
Hey, if you drink a gallon of goat milk a day, you'll get there.
Gross.
Yeah, That's an unnatural animal.
What do you got?
Oh, me?
Oh yeah, we do need to do that. Good job, CTP. The contest.
Still listening.
Yeah, if you're still here, 2 days from now.
Well, it doesn't matter because it'll be over.
No. The contest goes until Friday. This will post on
Oh,
Wednesday.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got another week or so on the
Carry
contest.
on.
Yeah, we
take your
have 2
magnesium
more days
today.
for the contest. The coffee tequila barbells contest. All you got to do is make a video, 2 minutes or less, and somehow creatively combine coffee, tequila, and barbells, and then post that video to YouTube and tag it and put it on the Facebook wall for Barbell Shrugged. The funnier the video is, the more likes it'll get. The most likes wins.
Or the sexier.
What do you get if you win?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
What do you-
subjective.
Whatever you think is going to get likes.
What do you get if
Sex
you win?
sells and humor sells.
What's the prize if you win?
You get a gold pack, which is all 3 of our seminars: the Faction Foods Nutrition course, Maximum Mobility, and Simple Strength. So that's like close to $400 worth of value there. Second place gets just the Mobility Seminar, and third place gets second place gets Faction Foods course, and third place gets the Mobility Seminar. So top 3 videos are going to get some seminars. So you got 2 more days to post that video.
What's so funny?
You're running out of time, so you got to jump on it if you want to do
Mike's
it.
making faces at me.
All right, Chris, you're up. What do you got plugged?
Man, I don't know.
Got your new book coming out? You
I
just
do.
said?
Well, yeah, okay. I'm spending this weekend editing together all the nonsense I wrote down. It's going to be good. I'm going to release it. I think you're going to have options for getting it through iTunes and getting it off Amazon.
What's the book
I mean,
about?
iBook with videos and stuff?
I'm not going to put any video in it. I think it'll just be words and pictures, and it'll be very nice. You'll enjoy it.
Who puts videos in books? What the hell?
I'm just going to put words in the book.
It's probably a good idea.
Lots of words.
It's about. I'd say it's not a training book, even though the context is sort of training and how you progress. But it's mostly like a perspective expansion set of essays. Like, how do you start learning more about how?
Sounds like you have no idea what's in the book.
Collection of essays.
Shut up. No, if you read this book, you'll have a better idea of what you were going to be looking for and you're out of your training.
Once he reads his own book, he'll have a better idea what's in it.
You're gonna just
That's what I heard.
dear reader, don't pay any attention to these assholes. Listen to your Uncle Chris. You'll love the book. It's going to be a tremendous value.
Your Uncle
this
Chris
is-
who
it's very
masturbates next to his
philosophical.
wife in bed at night.
This is what we'll
Shana,
do.
everybody jerks off, okay? Everybody. Don't even say this.
I am not contesting that point.
I will read Chris's book, and then I will tell you what's in it. That's the
Okay.
only way.
You're going to love it, okay? That's only. I'm not going to plug
That
anything
sounds like a
else.
plan.
No more plugs. No more plugs.
I don't believe you.
All right, Shana, what do you got?
You know, if you're in Atlanta, stop by CrossFit East Decatur, because I might be there. You might get to see me.
If you're
Alive.
lucky.
You're so lucky.
Have you ever seen a unicorn live? I bet you haven't. Not till you go to East Decatur.
Is that it?
That's all I got.
You don't want to promote anything else?
Like, what? I don't know. No.
No.
That's all I got.
Okay. Just checking. All right. If you didn't enjoy this show, you're probably not listening.
How could
So,
they possibly not enjoy
But if you did, go to iTunes, give us 5 stars, write a nice little note about how awesome
I'm going to give you 10
this
stars.
discussion was.
Write us a handwritten letter saying what you think about us.
No, don't do that.
I would love to read it.
If
I
I
would
start
love to
getting
read your
handwritten
thoughts.
letters, I'll get in trouble.
mean a
dearest
snail mail
Bledsoe,
letter?
I sure did enjoy your latest episode of the show. Best regards, Tommy J from New Jersey.
Every once in a while, we do have a show like this
I
where
know
it's really
him.
fun to do the show, but we don't really talk about CrossFit that much. So if you really like this show, I want to hear about it. And if you really didn't like this show, I want to hear about that too.
Doug thinks nobody's going to
see
like this episode.
I want to see what everyone thinks about this show.
Yeah.
Entertainment's good.
Doug-
Content's
Doug-
good. You got to have a mix. I
Doug
want,
is
I, want I want
pessimistic.
everyone's opinion.
Doug is pessimistic.
This show is at
Shana's
least
optimistic.
This show is
I
at
love
least
it.
12% content.
Of course he loves it.
I think it would have been more fun if. Never mind.
If what?
I just want to be free to be me. That's all.
Yeah. See, Mike's trying to constrain the unicorn. Bad mojo.
Don't try to rein me in. Don't try to keep me in a box. Let me go. Let me run free.
Don't you shit in her cereal, Mike.
Why
Don't
is
piss in
everyone
my
picking on
wheat.
me? I thought I was doing a good job of letting her do whatever she wants to do.
Yeah. What do you want to plug, dude?
And this is the last
That was
time
it.
Shayna will be on the Barbell Shrugged.
Oh, by the way, we're going to be having Justin Thacker. We're going to be doing a seminar with him. We're only going to have a few spots open. for his seminar because he's not doing it in front of an audience for an audience. He's doing it to build, to make a digital seminar that, like we have in the store already. Weightlifting seminar. He's already sent me a lot of his materials for PowerPoints and some posters that he's created, and it is extremely impressive. I'm really, really looking forward to the seminar myself. So he's going to be coming to Memphis on May 11th and 12th, and we're going to basically be videoing it. If you want to come and watch us basically produce a product, so those things that you see in our store, if you want to see that produced, the seminar won't be directed at you as an audience member, but it'll be really cool to see how all this stuff is put together. And we're going to go out and have dinner and stuff like that on that Saturday night.
Got a podcast
it's gonna be
too,
awesome.
right? I mean,
we'll podcast with Justin Thacker. We'll be able to hang out with him. So if you want to hang out with Justin and us on that weekend, we're going to post something in the store where you can purchase basically a pass to come to that videotaping. Do we tape anymore? Video.
There's no such thing
video
as
recording.
Videotaping.
Video recording. You can come to that
Dumb
video
son of a
recording.
That's right. So it'll be like you're at a seminar.
There's no way people are still listening at this point. This is like the longest plug ever.
Yeah, it'll be like you're at the seminar, but it's not a seminar for the audience. It's a seminar to record the product. But you'll still be there learning just like you're at a seminar. But occasionally we might have
it's not
a cut for the camera, that type of thing.
You'll
You'll basically be at a seminar.
Bring a 6-pack. It'll be fun.
That's right.
Yeah. Or a bottle of tequila. Preferably a bottle of tequila for each of one of us.
Coffee in the morning.
Squeeze
Tequila
a fresh grapefruit juice.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you do it.
We're going to have some of that tonight.
What?
CTP's birthday.
That's right. Happy birthday, CTP. Hey, thanks, guys.
Real quick, while we're still recording,
Are we?
I want to plug episodes 1 through 56. We do have content. And I'd also like to plug episode 58, which is coming to you next Wednesday.
Is that this episode?
We're going to try to plan that
this
one.
is 57.
Oh.
That's next Wednesday.
He's basically saying this was crap and we're sorry.